Hey everyone, it's Warren. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing my March TBR. February is now over and now we are in March and spring is returning. The days are getting longer, it's getting warmer outside, everything is just growing and coming back to life, and I really like that. It makes me happy. So I thought I would start off this month by talking about which books I'm going to be reading for March. Last month I realized that I had way too many books on my TBR. I had like maybe 8 or 10 and I just felt like it was too many and I fell into a reading slump. So I've decided that for this month I'm going to be a little bit more conservative towards my TBR and I'm only going to put about 6 books on there. It feels a little bit more realistic. So we will see how many books I can read this month, but I do have some awesome reads and I'm really excited to share them with you guys. The first book on my TBR is Gemina by Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman, and this is the sequel to Illuminae, which I just read recently in January. I've heard so many good things about this book. A lot of people say it's even more intense than the last one, which the last one was insanely intense. It was an emotional roller coaster. I laughed, I cried, I was happy, I was sad, I was just all of these emotions towards Illuminae. So to say that Gemina is even better, I am really excited. So I'd really like to read this book as it comes out. I just ordered it on Amazon, so it should be here tomorrow. It almost made it into this video as a physical copy, but it's still in the mail waiting to be delivered to me. The next book is one that I wanted to read last month, but I just never got around to, and that is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black, and I have heard so much hype about this book. Everyone is reading it right now and I really want to read it and see if I feel the same way. This is a very dark political fantasy centered around fairies. The main character's name is Jude and she is living as an orphan in the fairy courts that coexist with our modern day world, and she gets caught up in the middle of fairy politics and entangled with Prince Carden, who is our title character, the Cruel Prince. I really love books about fae and fairies, and Enchantment of Ravens and A Court of Thorns and Roses are some of my favorite dark fantasies centered around fae, so I really hope I enjoy this book. If you guys want me to do a book review on it, please let me know down in the comments. I will definitely consider it. I haven't really done a lot of book reviews this year because I feel like they're really hard to make, but if you guys are really excited for this book and you want to know my thoughts, I will definitely consider making a book review for it. Gosh, I just love the cover of this book. It's so pretty with all these shiny gold branches, and then if you take off the dust jacket, the cover page looks so pretty. Look at that gorgeous gold engraving of a crown, or I don't really know what this is. It looks like a tree crown. It looks like a crown with like branches spreading out of it. It looks so pretty, and then the spine here is just gold print there. I just think this book is really pretty and it makes me super excited to read it. The next book is also one that I wanted to get to in February but I didn't, and it's one that I have just been pushing off for so long, and that is Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. I'm not going to say anything about this book. You guys know my opinions on this series and you know how excited I am for this series. I've been saying I want to read Queen of Shadows for months, and I'm so sick of featuring it in my videos and having not read it and keep saying I want to read it. Originally, I was going to put this on the top of my TBR list, but then Gemina got in the way because of Obsidio, and I want to read both Gemina and this book with like my full undivided attention. I don't want to read multiple books at once with these because I want to enjoy them as much as possible. So after I finish Gemina, then I can finally pick this book up and finish this series before the next book comes out. The next book is The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. This is the book of the month for my classics reading club on Goodreads. I thought since the Oscars are coming up soon and everyone's going to be dressing up and getting fancy, and it's springtime so things are getting warmer, people are starting to come outside more, that we should read a fancy story. The last time I read The Great Gatsby, I was being forced to for school. So now I'm excited to pick this up and read it for fun. Hopefully I'll like it even more now that I've seen the movie, and I just love Leonardo DiCaprio. He is the perfect Great Gatsby. If for some reason you don't know what this story is about, it is a romance drama taking place in the roaring 1920s. That's all you have to tell me about pretty much any contemporary ever, and you will sell me on it because I love that time period of the roaring 20s. I wish I could go visit it and experience it, and this book is just such a beloved classic and I'm really excited to read it. The next book is P.S. I Still Love You by Jenny Han. I just finished reading To All the Boys I Loved Before. That was the last book I read in February, and I just needed it as a little bit of a pick-me-up. I was feeling a little bit upset and I was a little bit down, so I read it to cheer me up, and it was really good. So I hope this book will be good as well. This book picks up right where the other one left off, and I think it just deals with some of the romances that were started in that book. They're super short. I can read this in probably a day, and I just love the character of Laura Jean. The last book ended at the end of the fall school semester, so I'm hoping that this book picks up in the spring school semester, which is what I'm in right now, so I feel like the timing is just right to pick this one up. And the last book on my TBR is The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert. This is another book that's been really popular on BookTube lately. This book is about a girl named Alice whose grandmother has written a series of dark fantasy stories, but Alice does not have a relationship with her grandmother. She and her mom spend their lives on the run trying to avoid some ominous thing that's chasing them, and after her grandmother grandmother dies, her mom is kidnapped, and so Alice must now go to her deceased grandmother's estate called the Hazelwood and search for her mother. This sounds so interesting. I love fairy tales with a dark twist, and the cover looks beautiful with this shiny gold design, and the trees growing around the title here remind me of spring. It just gives me a spring and March vibe to it, and I love it. So that is my March TBR. I hope I can read all of those books. One is a short story and one is a contemporary, so that leaves me with just a couple big tomes to read, and if I can get through them really fast, maybe I'll have time to read some other books, so I might include some things on my wrap-up that I didn't include here, but those are the main books that I'd like to read this month. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section down below. I reply to all my comments, so I will definitely respond to yours. Let me know if you've read any of the books I've mentioned, and if you have any video requests or you'd like to see me do a review of any of these books, then please let me know down in the comments, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!
Empty words we say, many worlds away, sending messages all across the